Of all the vinyl and finishing products available, especially transitional, Wall-Base, more than any other, is the one that is most often completed and seen looking substandard or even outright deplorable. Consequently, the reason for this can be attributed mostly to the difficulty of navigating around and into corners, as well as the unavailability of an economical product to complete and finish off Wall-Base to perfection. Outside corners are seen constantly with a loss of the lower profile, tapering into and out of the corner, leaving a somewhat discernible appearance. If a lower profile can relatively be maintained, the lip can split, creating a V-notched gap. Literally, on top of that, and the greatest frustration for installers, is a protruding gap at the top apex on one side or the other, or even both. If a brad nail is used, it will leave an unsightly indentation, and caulking will not fix the appearance of the swell. As well, color blending can become another issue altogether. Worst of all, it will sometimes pop a short time later. Inside corners are routinely seen with their junction away from the vertex, rounded through the corner, or miscut at out-of-plumb or irregular walls, as well as just plain poorly cut in. Whether sliced and folded or cut to or from to fit, imperfections of the lower miter, although they may only be a minimal detractor, will still frequently stand out on their own. No matter how well accomplished an installation is or can be, situations occur where Wall-Base must end abruptly, leaving a naked exposed edge that, when not capped off, not only does it look unfinished, but mediocre and shoddy, all the while leaving an opening at the cove extrusion to gather dirt and grime or allow seepage. Wrapping around the corner of a cabinet where the toe kick is lower than the height of the base itself will also leave an unfinished edge on the other exposed side of the cabinet, including an unfinished top of the bend. By producing and offering freeform corners, the Wall-Base industry is well aware of these inherent issues. As you can see, lining up and abutting factory edges, as is with all conjoined corners, can not only be difficult, but often impossible, that will require a seam be cut in. With a stubbed out wall, no matter how you slice it, an unwanted seam must be made down the middle. However well preformed corners may perform in most instances, the main deterrent to their use is that they are prohibitively expensive. Finally, repairs call for replacing the entire section, sometimes taking the wall with it, and very rarely will they match. The solution for every single one of these issues and problems is the Wall-Base Finishing Caps. The Wall-Base Finishing Caps are low-cost and simple-to-use end covers that make it possible and ensure that every job will be completed with an absolutely flawless and professional result, adding just enough character to beautify and be complimentary without being distracting, all the while preserving all of its functionality, including withstanding high-impact hits from vacuums and buffing machines. Besides a visually superior appearance, there are numerous other incredible extended benefits. With the outside finishing cap comes design options to better fit the continuity of decor. With a lower profile that can't collapse inward or split, there is an option of a streamlined lower profile, or one that merges from one side to the other with a circular profile. As well, because there's no back pressure from bending around the corner, popping from the top apex will no longer occur during or after the installation. Inside corners will never have to be seen looking deplorable again, and will be purchased for their functionality as well as in conjunction with outside caps to provide conformity, creating a balance to the overall appearance. End caps are what have always been literally missing and are the final finishing touch to tie everything together and complete the appearance, rather than being non-existent, leaving the job appearing unfinished and incomplete. The availability of end caps to finish off an exposed edge will always be needed, whether or not inside or outside finishing caps are used. Options are also available for installation methods that will revolutionize the current process. They can simply be attached solely to the base itself, or a wall adapter can be utilized that allows the finishing caps to easily snap in place. Placement of the wall adapters takes less than 30 seconds. The wings of the wall adapter are thin enough that there isn't any protrusion of the edge that can be seen transferring through the base. Holes in the wings filled with wall-base adhesive, requiring no other form of attachment. Installing wall-base with the finishing caps will not only allow the professional to have the capability of finishing the installation to perfection, they are so simple to use, even the do-it-yourself demographic will be capable of installing wall-base with the same quality and end result as the professional. What was once an involved and difficult process will now become what could be the most simple and easiest finished product to install there is, creating a market of use beyond just functional. The do-it-yourself customer is a huge market that has gone relatively untapped by the wall-base industry due to the difficulty of the installation process that now stands. Installation with the wall-base finishing caps is so simple and easy. Anyone, no matter how inept they are at manual labor, is capable of a high-quality, fantastic-looking end result. One of the major attributes with the use of the wall-base finishing caps is they incredibly reduce the time spent on installation, making it highly attractive to contractors and installers. The process of wrapping outside corners is completely eliminated. Finding the angles or coordinating placement of inside corners is also completely eliminated. With the lack of back pressure of conjoined corners, the wall base can follow the plane of the floor as well as the contour of the wall, eliminating the time spent fighting the upper popping, and continuing sections will stay on their own plane, making it possible for all seams to be abutted, never having to be cut in or land close to a junction. A cabinet with a toe kick lower than the height of the base will no longer require that a section be cut down to two different heights, leaving an unfinished exposed portion. By simply cutting out the top corner, a clean and fully finished appearance is achieved. The best advertisement for the use of any product is being used and seen in real-world applications. However, all too often the opposite occurs when substandard and outright deplorable installations are seen, creating a negative impression of which has an even stronger impact. Instead of being an attribute within itself, it invariably becomes its own deterrent. The principal form of advertisement for wall base is being seen in its application. Along with the opportunity to provide design options, salesmen are going to be more inclined and confident to offer and sell base when they have the reassurance that the product they sold will end up finished to perfection, especially when it's only at a very minimal extended cost. Contractors especially will prefer to use them for the phenomenal increased speed at which base can be installed, as well as being able to use unskilled labor without reservation of their ability as a craftsman. Installers will appreciate them even more, if not only for the lack of frustration involved with outside corners alone. Beyond everything else, and by far the most important attribute of all, is profits and the bottom line. The wall-base finishing caps have and will create incredible profit potential. Improved appearance and increased consumer satisfaction will undoubtedly create higher demand that will exponentially increase the sales of wall base in general. Essentially, every job completed with the wall-base finishing caps will increase the bottom line across the board. Not only will more base be purchased, generating more profit, the wall-base finishing caps will further increase revenue by generating their own profit. As things stand today in this economic downturn, every business must find and develop some sort of new competitive edge, not just to keep up with its competitors, but to surpass and compel their competitors' would-be customers into being their own. For the wall-base industry, the finishing caps are just that development. The wall-base finishing caps are the innovation to revitalize the wall-base industry and ensure economic growth. With all the significant improvement and benefits, it's the opportunity to capitalize on a lucrative new and old market set of customers that will undeniably increase revenue and profits. The wall-base finishing caps clearly are a formidable asset to outperform all other accessory products currently available.